This etude is a rather weird one when it comes to lyrical stuff. I'll just lead off by reading the notes. This is a beautiful piece of romantic folk music. Breathe whenever you can. Make a musical tapering of the phrase. Catch them when you can. But remember to try to inhale as fully as possible each time and then blow evenly through each slur. So, basically, don't breathe. I don't mean that literally, but imagine this as if you were a cellist. How would a cellist play this? Listen to a lot of cello music. I really love the Bach cello suites. Find a cello player, pick your favorite cello player, and just listen to how they phrase things, because they don't need to breathe to play. They need to breathe to live, but they don't need to breathe to play their instrument. So listen to how they would phrase things. Listen to all different eras of cellos and cello playing, because obviously that will lead to a different interpretation of how a certain thing could be played. Anyways, it's really important in this etude to know what notes are more important. Every single note is important, but when it gets to somewhere near the middle section, when there's just accidentals everywhere, you have to be 100% certain of what you are going to play. Because if you even hesitate, I hesitated somewhere, I think near the end, and that just made my performance go downhill. Everything else was okay, thought it was okay, but just that little flub, honestly, was just terrible. Part of me just wants to re-record the whole etude, but it's hard to record things, and I don't want to be like that guy who just posts perfect things, obviously. I'm trying to post to the best of my ability, but at the same time, I don't want to set stupid expectations, be like, oh, you need to perform this 100% perfectly all the time. Even I can't do that. But, knowing where the phrase is going and knowing what notes are more important. So, first of all, you're going to need to work on your breathing, because you just want to make the phrases as long as possible. Especially somewhere near the middle before the tempo one. Don't add an extra note there, but they're just really having the most beautiful phrasing, and it has to be convincing. Even if you want to do something else, I'll do something else. You just have to make whatever you decide to phrase it as convincing. You really have to just be sure you're telling the audience, the judges, whoever is listening to you play, be like, that's what they want to do with the music, instead of doing something where it just kind of sounds like you were trying to phrase, but you kind of ran out of breath. So just I'll do it the right way now. And really, you have to find little mini phrases where you could taper and just take that nice breath. I would even recommend at times just pulling the tempo back a little bit before you breathe, so you can extend that note, taper it even longer, allow it to ring, and then just take a nice full breath. Just really be aware of just every small little thing that will catch you off guard. Accidentals are the big one. The tenutos, those are really important. The rhythm, just everything in this etude is important, obviously, but you have to find what will make you stand out as a musician. What do you want to place the importance on, and how will you portray that, and can you make it convincing? I'll do the end here. last note, I would not recommend adding vibrato. There's not a lot of places for vibrato in this etude, but you could do it on like. Or if you're gonna do vibrato, make sure it doesn't sound like you're nervous. Make sure it sounds like he is adding this to extenuate and show off this phrase. Really, this etude is going to take a lot of slow practice with the metronome and a tuner. Obviously, I wouldn't play it strict in time all the time. You have a rallentando and a poco rallentando near the end. And a good thing to note is that this etude doesn't get past piano, but that doesn't mean you should stay at the pianissimo level all the time. But that doesn't mean go double forte, Find the peak of the piece to you. To me, the peak of the piece, honestly, is probably somewhere like in the rallentando, and then the tempo one is just, this is me showing off again, showing my love again. So really find the peak of the piece to you and show that off. Probably play that at like a mezzo forte minus, Don't go crazy. Don't go blowing the judge's ear off, but really just try to make this piece your own, because that's the only way, it's going to speak. If people are practicing these etudes diligently, everyone is going to be able to play the notes and rhythms. That's not what's going to make you stand out. It's really how musical can you make this, how beautiful, how smooth, how romantic, how much can you convince, this piece of music was written for them, the performer. And that's really what's going to make you stand out.